Hello everyone, and welcome to our final time together for Messy Church Online before the summer holidays. I'd like to start today by asking you a question. What is your favourite time of day? No, don't tell me. Just keep it in your head for now. Do you remember at Easter we spoke about a number of people of faith? I talked to you about Martin Luther King. Well, today we're going to learn about another person of faith, a little older this time, called John Keble. John was born in Fairford, Gloucestershire, that's not far from here, about 62 miles away, in 1792. He was a priest, a theologian and a poet. A theologian is someone who studies the nature of God, religion and religious beliefs. And he is commemorated, that is remembered, on or around the 14th of July each year. He was ordained, that means he became a priest in a special church ceremony in 1816, and in 1827 he published a popular and very influential book of poems called The Christian Year. This book contained poems for the Sundays and feast days of the church year. He was also Professor of Poetry at Oxford University from 1831 to 1841, and from 1836 until the time he died, he was a priest in a small parish in the village of Hursley near Winchester, which is also not that far from here. 3 years after his death, Keble College, Oxford, was founded in his memory. Now, many of his poems have since been set to music and used as hymns. One of my favourites is called New Every Morning. My favourite line is right near the beginning. Through the night and darkness safely brought, restored to life and power and thought. I love to get up early in the morning, watch the world wake up and get going. I'm very lucky to live beside the river here in Fordingbridge, and it's wonderful to watch the birds, the ducks and swans, both as they wake up and as they go to bed. Each new day is like a blank page on which we can write the story of our lives afresh, all our past sins forgiven, knowing that God really loves us. And this poem or hymn reminds me of that. And now you know why I asked you about your most favourite time of day. To help us remember that God is with us both day and night, as it says in John Keble's poem, I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful moon and sun new day plate. So, what are you going to need for this craft? Well, you're going to need a paper plate, okay? Now, the first thing that you're going to do with this paper plate is you're going to paint one side yellow and one side blue, just like that. Now, it's probably best to paint one side and let it dry, and then paint the other side and let that side dry. Or you can use felt tip pens or colouring crayons or pencils if you've got them at home, okay? And when you've done that, okay, your next job is going to be to make the moon side, okay? So, all I did with this was I used the shape of the paper plate, okay? So it's not as tricky as you might think. So I got a piece of yellow card, okay? I don't need a whole sheet, and I've already used this for something. And I got my paper plate. So all I did was put my paper plate on top of the yellow card and took a pencil and drew halfway round. So we've got a half circle. Okay, there we are. So I don't know if you can see that. There's a half circle on there. And then you need to make the moon shape. So you need to draw the side of his face and his pokey out nose, okay? So you just come in, following round, and then give him a nice nose shape, and then back down. Okay, so you end up with a shape like that. The next thing you're going to do is cut it out. So there we have our moon shape, okay? Try and cut him as neatly as you can, but if you're not that good with scissors, ask a grown-up. I'm sure they will help you. So we need to give him a mouth and an eye. So I've just taken a black felt tip pen and I've given him a nice eye shape near the top and a lovely smiley mouth at the bottom under his nose somewhere. There we go. So we've got an eye and a mouth, just like that. Doesn't have to be very complicated. Okay, so put that to one side. And the next thing that you need is on the other side. Okay, so for the sun side, you're going to need these triangles, okay? Now you need 8 of those, okay? I've already cut mine out, but I'm just going to show you a little tip about how to make your yellow triangles. I drew 2 lines on a piece of card, parallel to each other, and then I did some zigzags and used those to make my triangles, okay? Now, you need 8 triangles, okay? And I've got mine here already, okay? So let me think, what else do we need? Well, I've got some sparkly things because I thought it would be quite nice. Oh, it's a fly. I thought it would be quite nice to have some sparkles like stars, but if you haven't got any, you could just draw some stars or put some blobs of paint on, or even just leave it. And I also thought it would be nice to have some clouds. So I took a little cotton wool pad just like this, pulled it apart and made a few clouds. Okay, right. So we've got moon shape, we've got triangles, sparkly things if we need them, cotton wool, glue, we're ready to go. Okay, so your first job then is going to be to make the sunshine side. So take your black pen again. Shall I turn him round so we can have a look? There we are. And we're going to give him a face. Okay, so I'm going to give him 2 eyes. Now, if you're lucky enough to have some of those white googly stick-on eyes that wiggle when you shake, you could use those. That would be fantastic, okay? But if you haven't, you can draw your eyes just as well, like I have. Okay, so there we are. There's my smiley sun face. Now we need to stick the sun's rays on. Now, it's a trick to doing this, to getting them even. If you start with your 12 o'clock, then go down to your 6 o'clock, go across to your 3 o'clock and your 9 o'clock, put those in first, then it's really easy to get the ones in between equally spaced, okay? So, take your triangle, your yellow triangle, and put glue on the bottom, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to start with our 12 o'clock at the top, and then I'm going to put 6 o'clock at the bottom. Okay, make sure you put enough glue on so that it sticks, but not too much glue that it goes soggy. Okay, so there we are. We've got our 6 o'clock and our 12 o'clock. Looks like he's got a funny pokey up hair and a little bit of beard at the moment, doesn't it? Right, now we're going to go to our 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So that's 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Can't tell the time. There we are, 1 there. It's almost like he's going to have 2 ears, isn't it? 1 each side of his head. So pop a little bit of glue on there. I'm going to stick that on that side there, like that. So can you see? We've got 4 now, and now it's going to be really easy to put 1 in each space as you go round, and it will be beautifully evenly spaced. When you've done that, okay, it'll look like that. Okay, so when you've done that and you've let them dry a little bit, I'm going to turn it over and we're going to stick our moon side on. Now, you're going to need to put glue halfway round your plate on the edge, right on the edge. Make sure you put enough glue on, especially when you've got paint, because sometimes the glue and the paint mix together and they're not so sticky then. Okay, so put plenty of glue on and halfway around, just like that. Okay, just on the edge. Okay, now make sure that you remember where your top is, because otherwise your plate will be wibbly wobbly when you turn it round. Okay, so there's the top, so that's where I want the top of my moon. I'm going to put that there and just stick him on the glue. And if you didn't go quite all the way round because you weren't sure, that's fine. Just like me, we can pop a bit more glue underneath. Okay, hold him down so he's nice and flat. There we are. And that's how we make our moon side. Okay, so we've got our sun side almost finished, but you're going to put some more triangles in to make him like this. And then our moon side. And if you want to, of course, you can put some sparkly things on if you've got sparkly things at home, and some cotton wool for clouds, or you could draw some stars or put some glitter on even if you've got some. Okay, and the other side, have a look at the other side. There we are. Okay, now the last thing that we need to do is make a hole in the top. So I used a hole punch, but if you haven't got a hole punch, doesn't matter, you can use scissors. But if you are going to use a hole punch, you just need to pop it in one side, not both sides, because we only want one hole. And you need it near the top, so have a look on the back. Pop one side under your plate, just like that. There we are. You've got a hole. Now, the trick to making a nice, neat hanger is to take a piece of wool or ribbon or string, whatever you're going to use, fold it in half, and then tie a knot. Okay, fold it in half and then tie a knot. This is even before you've put it on the plate, okay? So, there we are. So you've now got a loop. How are we going to thread that through, I hear you ask? So, take the end, not the end with the knot in, the other end, poke it through the hole like that, okay? So then it's like, well, hold on, but it's going to fall off. So open that up with your fingers so you've got a gap. Poke the other end, the knotted end through. Oh, there we go. So you've got a lovely, neat hanger there, and it hangs beautifully. Okay, so there we have our lovely moon and sun plate to remind us that God is with us day and night, and as John Keble says in his poem, he brings us safely through the night to a new day. Hope you enjoy making your sun and moon plates, and I look forward to being with you again after the summer holidays. Have a super summer holiday, everybody. Bye!